Welcome to the Rezoomex Podcast. I'm Rachel, and today I'm speaking with Vinayak Joglekar about a role that could reshape how companies build products and adopt AI, the AI Product Builder, or AIPB. Vinayak, let's begin with the most basic question. What exactly is an AI Product Builder?
Before I get there, I would like to mention two facts about the way technology marketplace is evolving. One, companies want outcomes. They are wary of increasing expenditure on token maxing. Two, employees want to be empowered by AI. They are concerned that AI is replacing humans instead of empowering them. AI Product Builder is a new role that will provide outcomes to companies by empowering deserving employees. An AI product builder is someone who can take responsibility for a product outcome from discovery all the way to delivery. The role combines several responsibilities that were traditionally distributed across a cross-functional product team: product management, business analysis, design coordination, software development, testing, deployment, and increasingly, the creation and supervision of AI agents. The central idea is simple. Why stop after discovering, defining, and designing an outcome? The AI product builder goes all the way to building and delivering it.
So is this simply a new name for a product manager who knows how to use AI?
No. A product manager may define what should be built and then hand it over to an engineering organization. An AI product builder closes that gap. The AIPB has deep domain knowledge and strong product management skills, but also enough technical capability to use AI tools to generate, test, and deploy code. The person does not need to be the best specialist in every discipline. The important shift is that AI makes it possible for one capable, context-rich individual to coordinate and perform work that previously required several handoffs.
Where should this person sit in an organization? Would the role normally belong to IT?
In many cases, no. AI product builders should work closely with end users and customers. They may report into an operational department rather than IT because that is where the real problem, the real workflow, and the real value are located. If the objective is to improve claims processing, patient onboarding, factory maintenance, or customer support, the AIPB should be embedded close to the people performing that work. Technology remains essential, but the role starts with the operational outcome, not with a technology project.
You often distinguish between an operational value stream and a development value stream. Why is that distinction important here?
Because value is ultimately created in the operational value stream, the sequence through which a company serves a customer or achieves a business result. Traditional software organizations created a separate development value stream with requests moving from operations to product management, then through architecture, development, QA, DevOps, and release. Every transition added delay and created opportunities for context to be lost. An AIPB positioned inside the operational value stream can understand the problem, build the solution, and validate the result with users. As that capability matures, much of the traditional development value stream can become unnecessary or be radically simplified.
That sounds like a very broad mandate. What must an AIPB understand before building anything?
First, the AIPB needs a complete understanding of the outcome to be delivered. Second, the person must understand how that outcome connects to higher-level leading and lagging indicators. A feature is not valuable merely because it was completed. It is valuable when it influences user behavior or operational performance, and when that change contributes to a corporate goal. The AIPB sees the whole chain, the ultimate corporate goal, the leading indicators that signal progress, the products and features that influence those indicators, and the specific contribution the AIPB is making.
Could you explain leading and lagging indicators in that context?
A lagging indicator tells us whether the organization ultimately achieved the result: revenue, margin, retention, market share, or another corporate outcome. A leading indicator is an earlier behavior or operational change that we believe will contribute to that result. For example, if the lagging goal is higher customer retention, a leading indicator might be faster time to first value or more frequent use of a critical feature. The AIPB does not treat the connection as automatically true. The person makes the assumption explicit and tests it.
And what happens when the connection between a leading indicator and the corporate goal is uncertain?
Then it becomes a hypothesis. The AIPB must test that hypothesis by running an experiment. That frequently means building a prototype, placing it in the hands of end users or customers, observing what happens, and collecting evidence. AI makes prototype development faster, but speed alone is not the objective. The objective is to learn whether a proposed product change actually produces the intended behavior and outcome.
This seems to change the way product work is funded and rewarded as well.
It does. Traditional individual contributors and vendors often expect to be paid for effort or time spent. AI usage has introduced another input meter, tokens consumed. But companies do not really want hours or tokens, they want outcomes. AI product builders should be prepared to take responsibility for those outcomes and, where appropriate, be rewarded for delivering them. If a company wants better results from AI adoption, it should stop focusing its spending on time and tokens and invest in discovering, defining, designing, and delivering outcomes.
You've emphasized that AI product builders need deep organizational context. Why can't an AI agent supply that context itself?
Agents are very capable when knowledge is explicit, when it exists in data, documents, or other digital artifacts. But organizations also run on tribal knowledge and culture. People know which exception matters, why a policy exists, which stakeholder must be consulted, which shortcut is dangerous, and what happened the last time a similar decision was made. Much of that knowledge is exchanged through experience, meetings, and informal conversations. An agent may not know it. The AIPB understands that organizational context and uses it to guide decisions where an agent relying only on explicit knowledge could make a technically plausible but practically wrong judgment.
Does that mean the AIPB works alone, with AI serving merely as a tool?
Not at all. The AIPB builds agents to help with the work. You can think of a small, outcome-focused team consisting of the end user or customer, the AI product builder, and a few expert agents. One agent might help analyze a value stream, another might develop personas and jobs to be done, another might generate test cases, and another might assist with code or data analysis. The AIPB supplies the purpose, judgment, and organizational context. The end user supplies operational reality. The agents contribute speed, breadth, and specialized execution.
How does the AIPB keep all those people, agents, assumptions, and outputs aligned?
Through playbooks. The AIPB works with a hierarchy of 3 connected playbooks: a corporate playbook, a product playbook, and a feature playbook. The corporate playbook captures the ultimate goals, strategy, and important measures. The product playbook connects those goals to product outcomes, users, value streams, hypotheses, and leading indicators. The feature playbook, at the level of a user story or agent-delivered capability, defines the specific outcome, behavior, acceptance criteria, tests, and implementation context.
Why is the hierarchy important? Why not put everything into one large knowledge base?
Firstly, it would be unwieldy and too large for one AIPB and their team to handle. Secondly, because context has levels and is inherited. A feature decision should be traceable to a product outcome, and the product outcome should be traceable to a corporate goal. At the same time, every engineer or agent should not have to process every corporate document for every task. The hierarchy provides the right context at the right level while preserving the connections. These playbooks become both the roadmap and the definition of outcome. They also create a shared context layer that allows multiple AIPBs, users, and agents to collaborate toward the same corporate goal.
What else must the AIPB understand about the organization's work?
The AIPB needs a complete view of the operational value stream and its bounded contexts. A bounded context is a part of the operation within which terms, rules, responsibilities, and data have a consistent meaning. In a bank, onboarding, payments, fraud management, and servicing may be distinct bounded contexts. Understanding these boundaries helps the AIPB avoid building one oversized solution and instead create capabilities that are coherent, loosely coupled, and aligned with how the business actually operates.
Does the AIPB need to possess every skill required to build the product?
No, but the person must understand which additional skills are needed. An AIPB should be able to recognize when the product requires deeper expertise in security, regulation, data science, user experience, architecture, or another field. AI agents can provide some of that expertise, and human specialists can be engaged where judgment, accountability, or depth demands it. The AIPB's responsibility is not to pretend to know everything, it is to assemble the right combination of users, agents, and specialists while retaining ownership of the outcome.
Who is best positioned to become an AI product builder?
Product managers, product owners, and program managers are well positioned, particularly when they come from an engineering background. Their domain knowledge can be extremely valuable because technical expertise can now be acquired and amplified with AI tools, provided they are willing to make the effort. But the path is not limited to product roles. Architects, development leads, QA engineers or QA leads, DevOps professionals, UX practitioners, and project managers can also become strong AIPBs if they have deep domain expertise and can broaden their perspective from a specialist task to an end to end outcome.
What would you say to an experienced professional who worries that this description is too large for one job?
I would say that the AI product builder is not merely a fixed role or job description, it is an aspiration. It describes the direction in which professionals can grow as AI reduces the cost of acquiring and applying adjacent technical skills. The question is no longer only what skills, qualifications, and years of experience do I possess? A stronger question is what outcome can I take responsibility for, and how is that outcome logically connected to the company's ultimate goal? That changes the conversation about a promotion, a new role, or a career transition.
So, an AIPB candidate should present a proposed outcome rather than simply a resume.
Exactly. Imagine someone saying, I understand this operational value stream. I believe reducing onboarding time will improve activation, and activation will contribute to retention and revenue. Here is the hypothesis, the prototype I can build, the experiment I will run, the evidence I will collect, and the outcome I am prepared to own. That is a very different proposition from listing certifications and asking the employer to define the work.
Let's return to the enterprise level. You've said that context is central to successful AI adoption. What role will AIPBs play in building that context layer?
A critical one. Many companies are adding AI tools without first creating a coherent connection between corporate goals, operating realities, product decisions, and execution. They may spend heavily on consultants, time and materials teams, and tokens, yet still produce disconnected outputs. AIPBs can build and maintain the context layer through the hierarchy of playbooks, direct engagement with users, and continual validation of assumptions. That gives agents better context, enables people to collaborate across boundaries, and improves the probability that AI work produces a meaningful business result.
How does this approach save money?
It reduces unnecessary handoffs, duplicated discovery, and long cycles of specification and reinterpretation. It also prevents indiscriminate token use. If an agent receives a vague request and a mountain of documents, it may do a great deal of processing without understanding the outcome. When the outcome, context, assumptions, acceptance criteria, and relevant inherited knowledge are structured in playbooks, agents can work more precisely. The company spends less on time and materials activity and less on token consumption that does not create verified value.
Some listeners may hear this as an argument for eliminating whole teams. Is that the intent?
The intent is to eliminate unnecessary distance between a problem and its solution. Traditional roles will not disappear everywhere or immediately, and complex or regulated products will continue to need specialists. But the structure of the work will change. Specialists may contribute to an outcome-focused team when their expertise is needed instead of receiving work through a long sequence of handoffs. The AIPB creates coherence by remaining close to the operational value stream and accountable for delivery.
If a company wants to start experimenting with this model, what should it do first?
Choose one bounded context and one meaningful but manageable outcome. Identify an experienced person who understands the domain, the users, and the organizational culture. Connect the outcome to a leading indicator and to a corporate goal. Build the 3 levels of playbook at the depth needed for that experiment. Assemble the user, the AIPB, and a small set of expert agents. Then build a prototype, test it with real users, measure the result, and update the playbooks with what you learn.
And what should the individual aspiring to become an AIPB do?
Start by getting closer to the operational value stream. Learn how value is actually created and where it gets blocked. Strengthen product management skills so you can define users, problems, hypotheses, and outcomes. Build enough technical fluency to use AI for prototyping, coding, testing, and deployment. Learn to create and supervise expert agents. Most importantly, practice connecting every feature-level decision upward, from the feature to the product outcome to the leading indicator, and finally to the corporate goal.
Before we close, can you summarize the unique advantage of the AI product builder in one thought?
The unique advantage is the combination of proximity, context, and end-to-end ownership. The AIPB is close to the user, understands the domain and the organization's tribal knowledge, sees how a feature connects to a corporate goal, uses agents to multiply capability, and remains accountable until the outcome is delivered and verified. That combination is difficult to achieve through a conventional chain of specialized handoffs.
And perhaps the final question, why stop at discovery, definition, and design?
There is no reason to stop there. AI has reduced the barriers between understanding a problem and building a working solution. The professional of the future should be prepared to discover the right outcome, define it clearly, design the response, build it, test it with users, and deliver measurable value. That is the aspiration behind the AI product builder.
Vinayak, thank you. This has been a compelling look at how AI may change not only the way products are built, but also where builders sit, how they are rewarded, and what they are willing to own. To our listeners, if your organization is investing in AI, perhaps the most important question is not how many tools or tokens you are buying, but which outcomes you are prepared to define, test, and deliver. Thank you for listening to the Rezoomex Podcast.